feed your family if you really fucking with it. Fuck that stimulus check, you might not never fucking get it. And fuck the government, don't give a fuck about your business. And get up off your ass and get the hustling if you with it. And you can feed your family if you really.
Fuck that stimulus check, you might not never fucking get it. And fuck the government, don't give a fuck about your business. And get up off your ass and get the hustling if you with it. And you can feed your family if you really fucking with it. Fuck that stimulus check, you might not never fucking get it. And fuck the government, don't give a fuck about your business. And get up off your ass and get the hustling if you with it. And you can feed.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Royalty with Queen Talks. Y'all, we sipping some good tea today. Really good. And as you notice, I got my mug. Running late is my cardio. It really is. I know that the people that know me, they know that I'm tardy. I apologize in advance, y'all. I'm one of those kind of people. So today we have some really good topics that I want to discuss with y'all. And I'm also going to eat on camera with y'all. So a little mukbang, little podcast vibes. Get a little splash of what I like to do, okay? Might incorporate a little bit of music. I know y'all just heard that beautiful lady before. We'll get into that as well. But we're going to be talking about some Stimmys. I know everybody getting their stimulus. Everybody want to talk about it. You're getting that $1,400. Make sure you spend it wisely. Let me show y'all a little bit of what I got here. I went to a Taster Thai here in Plano. Y'all look at this. Baby, that's some salad. Got these spring rolls. Spring rolls. And then they also had another kind of spring roll here. I don't know what kind it is. It's kind of sticky paper, but I'm going to see. And then I got some fried rice. So I'm about to eat a little bit of everything. You know how we do down here in the South. Thank you, God, for our food, amen. Let's try a little bit of this rice. From a Taster Thai, y'all. That's some good eating. Okay. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Y'all enjoying y'all St. Patrick's Day? I mean, for me, I didn't really know what it was all about. I just knew that it was time to drink. And in Kansas City, we always have a huge parade, but I know due to COVID, we can't do that. Okay. This is pretty good. I taste like some rosemary. I guess it's like some peanut sauce or something in this. Pretty good. So, y'all, back to these Stimmys. I know everybody got stimulated. Everybody was super excited when Biden signed this bill. We just want to ask, how will this boost the economy? How will it stimulate the economy? And if so, what are you going to do with your $1,400? What kind of business can you start with $1,400? I could think about 4 of them. Man, this is a lot of paper to eat through. I'm just going to tell you, this ain't one you eat on camera. My goodness. It's got a lot of business going on. It's almost like a little burrito, but it's filled up with salad. I guess this is rice paper. I don't know, Taste the Thigh. I don't really know about that one. Let's try these. So, y'all, like I said, what is a business that you could start with $1,400? I know there are a lot of people that do lash lines. I know that there are a lot of people that are doing hair lines, clothing lines, shoes. But let's say you're not into all that. You could definitely invest in yourself, in your talent. You could invest in another's business. You may even be the person that does the legwork behind the scenes. There's a lot of really good things that we can do. And I feel like because it's stimulating the economy, we should think of ways to stimulate it. So what can you do with $1,400? I like this. I think it's because the paper's crunchy. See, all that crunch excites my heart. It really does. Y'all, without further ado, let's really get into the tea of the day. Because it has been juicy going on with families. Do you have a toxic family member? Let's start there. Some of us don't want to admit it. But just because your mama call you and she asking for this and that, or your kids call you and they asking for this and that, or every time you come around, they throwing shade, but you want to say, well, that's my family member. They can still be toxic. Just because they're family does not mean that they cannot be toxic, okay? And we've seen that a couple of times. Actually, quite a few times. Y'all was getting into my phone because, you know, I got to take notes. Notes are important. Let's rate it. Y'all ready? Let's talk. Let's sip this tea. So, y'all, the first thing that I want to discuss is, like I said, toxic family members. We all know at least 2 to 3 toxic family members. I remember back in the day, most people would like joke about, oh, well, that's just my auntie, my crackhead auntie, or my crackhead uncle. But they may very well been toxic to the family because every time they came around, people start arguing, people start fighting. I mean, I even seen that young man who killed like half of his baby mama's family over a stimulus. Like, that's some toxic stuff. You got to get away from those type of people. When do you know how to cut them off, or when do you cut them off? Like, after a certain time, you got to be like, okay, look, every time I come around so-and-so, I feel a type of way, or I feel like they're throwing shade, or I feel like they're talking about me. I'm not saying on no petty stuff, y'all. I'm not saying, oh, when they're correcting you or when they're giving you sound advice. I'm talking about that person that come around and always throwing shade. I'm talking about that person that come around and then instantly you feel it in your spirit that they on some bull stuff, or they always got something negative to say, or, you know, they want to guide you but misdirect you at the same time. Oh, it was 2 of me. I was like, hey, y'all, get double the fun. Y'all, I know last week we heard about Kirk Franklin. Y'all, when I tell you it wasn't no Holy Ghost in that talk, he went the F off. But that is a sign of a toxic family member. Someone who gets you out of character. Someone who takes you so far away from what you know to be or who you know you are, for them to sit up there and consistently make you feel like you're doing something wrong, or they're always trying to pinch and poke. Those type of people you have to get away from. And a lot of times we don't want to do that when it's family members, but we be quick to cut everybody else off. And I'm not saying that you want to just cut them off and go MIA and never speak to them, but lessen your time with them. If you have that family member where every time y'all go to the barbecue, they sitting up there, look at you. Oh, y'all think y'all doing it. Or they got something to say in a jealous manner, leave that person alone. It's 2021. The last thing we need are toxic people in our lives, okay? If y'all agree, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You tuning into the World Tea now. I told y'all it gets good. Look down below, like, share, and subscribe. Because some people don't know they're a toxic family member. Some people don't even want to admit it. Like, no, I'm not toxic. Yeah, you are. I don't know why everybody don't want to be around me, because every time they get around you, they got to be dealing with all your extra negative baggage. They don't want to deal with that. Like I said, Kirk Franklin's son, that's a toxic family member. He didn't want to admit it. It's a reason why ain't nobody spoke to you in a minute, boo. For you to have to record your daddy to try to make him look like a bad guy, that's a toxic trait. People would believe you if you just said, hey, I don't fool with him. He ain't who y'all think he is. Yep, that's them right there. And I felt like it was very selfish of him to do that. Because, you know, oftentimes, especially as Black people, our images are often tarnished. And then for him to do this, that is such a toxic family member trait. They'll do things like they want people to see you in a negative manner. They don't want people to know you for who you are. They want people's opinions to shift about how they feel about you. And I don't think that that's fair. And also that can be very narcissistic too, because it's like, it's all about me, and I want people to see me, and I want people to look at how I feel about that matter. But we don't know what type of history that they've had. We don't know how long this has been going on. We don't know if maybe his son was doing some stuff he didn't agree with. All we got was the end of the recording. And like I said, that's some toxic junk. Y'all, that was Kirk Franklin. How about Meghan Markle? Toxic family members. Not her, but the family that she married into. If I have to leave and flee away from y'all, pulling Meghan Markle. I'm gonna have to go. I got to bye. I got to leave. She done fled with her baby in the night like it was the Underground Railroad. Like, she had to go. And the reason why is because look at what they were doing to her. Those are toxic family member traits. Asking questions about the baby, and not the baby, the rapper, y'all, you know, but about their son, asking questions about his skin tone, making them feel unwelcomed. And to me, I just didn't know what she thought she was going to do that was going to be different from anybody else, boo, because we should have known from Obama, one drop of black make you a, okay? One drop of black and I ain't going to fool with you. And she looks just like a regular person that's white. I'm going to be real. This the royal tea, and the tea is good to sip. She knew, but I guess she didn't know to what extent. And sometimes you think you can handle these toxic family members because, oh, well, they just say something every now and then until you get in the thick of it. We have to learn how to distance ourselves from toxic people in general, but sometimes it's the hardest when it's a family member. Sometimes you feel like, okay, well, I owe them to keep coming around, or, you know, my kids will get over the fact. No, you have to distance yourself for your own mental health. And to me, I feel like health is wealth. Could you imagine being somewhere with scrutiny and agony all the time and then you're supposed to be healthy? Like, that does not work at all. At all. Let me eat a little bit more, y'all. I like this one. This is my favorite. This is really good. How did y'all handle? Because I think everybody has had one toxic family member or even a jealous family member. How did you handle that? What did you do? This is delicious. You know when the food good when you gotta think about it. My Lord. My Lord, it's delicious. Also, I remember my first kind of clue about toxic family members was when I watched that movie Precious. That was the most toxic family member in the world, and it was her own mom. And sometimes you don't want to cut off your mom because it's like, this is the person that had me. But look at all that she went through by being there. And then once she started distancing herself, she was able to really find who she really was. Even though she was already beaten down and bruised and stuff like that. But she was able to really find her own individuality. Sometimes we have to let go of these toxic people that are in our lives. It don't matter if it's your mama, your daddy, your brother. It don't matter even if it's your spouse. Sometimes you have to be like, look, for me to be able to get to my next level, or for me to be able to feel comfortable or at peace, because peace is, that's something you can't buy nowhere. Okay, you can't buy peace of mind. You can buy a lot of things, but you can't buy no peace of mind. Because you can be rich going through craziness. And that's why I'm referencing some of these celebrities that we look up to, because no matter how much money you have, you cannot buy that peace. You have to be able to distance yourself and be like, look, this is what type of time you want, and this is where I'm at in my life. And I no longer welcome that. And you see, that's why Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they had to leave, because they were always under scrutiny, always under judgment. And nobody wants to live like that. I mean, to be made to feel like you're not good enough for whatever they got going on over there. But like I said, she knew it wasn't, you ain't never seen no black royal. Ain't never. Ever, ever. Ever, ever. Okay, see. Y'all know how them songs just creep up in your spirit and you just gotta. I was there with it. Y'all, if you are enjoying this tea that we are sipping, maybe you want a food that you want to suggest to me. Let me try this rice over here while I'm saying something about food. If you have a food that you would like to suggest that I try on here, please let me know. You're tuned into the Royal Tea with Queen Talks. I like that. This is fried rice with crab meat. I never even knew that type of stuff exists. It's pretty good though. It's different from shrimp. I've had fried rice with shrimp many years, but not with crab meat. Super delicious. Y'all, I do have a question of the day. that I want to ask y'all, and that we'll come back to next week. I'm going to start incorporating that. So I want to get y'all's feedback. As we're talking about family members and sometimes distancing yourself, have you ever felt like you wanted to go MIA? Have you ever felt like you just could disappear? Have you wondered like who would miss you, who would call you? Would those people who are always on your phone, would they be calling you? What would happen if you decided that you was going to go MIA? And if you went MIA, how long would you leave? Like, would you go for MIA for a day? I've thought about that sometimes. Like, what if I just stop answering my phone for a week? Who would miss me? I got this question from a young lady in a group called Girls Who Manifest. And she was just basically reaching out and saying, is anyone else feeling like going MIA on everyone? And I didn't blame her. Like I said, it's okay to feel that way. Sometimes you have to take some time and recharge your batteries. You got to get away from people because we encounter so many people and so many people have so much going on that sometimes you have to get away. You want to go MIA. Even if going MIA for you is getting away from social media and having a detox. Sometimes you have to go MIA. What do y'all think? I'm going to read off some of the answers to this next week. So y'all make sure that between this week into next week, y'all are answering. If you went MIA, where would you go? How long would you go MIA? And who do you think would miss you? Had to sip that tea, baby. It was juicy. So, y'all, we talked about them toxic family members. We talked about going MIA on their ass. Sometimes you got to, okay? Let people know how important you are in their lives. I'm not saying that they're not important, but oftentimes some people take you for granted, especially if they're always coming through and spewing that negativity on you. Sometimes you just got to leave, and I don't mind it. So, y'all, next topic, step parents. This is really juicy to me because I've had a step parent before. I've been a step parent before. And sometimes there's a gray area where you don't really know where you are in these children's lives. Excuse me, y'all. I had to burp. Where do you stand in their lives? Are you able to discipline these kids? Is that something that you and your spouse discussed prior to y'all being together or prior to y'all getting married? Or are these things that you discuss while dating? Like, especially for me, I have children. So when I meet a person, sometimes I initially tell them, sometimes I'll be like, okay, let me get to know this person because people be crazy. For real. And do they call this person dad? Do they call this person mom? Do they just call them by their name? Sometimes there's so many gray areas in step parenting. But I really got this topic from a gentleman named Russell Wilson. And y'all all know who Russell Wilson is, okay? He is not just Sierra's husband. He is an amazing football player, as well as he's Sierra's husband. And he had wrote down on Facebook his opinion about step parenting within his marriage and how child support was a rift between his wife and Future. And he basically was like, we don't need your money. So I don't know if we got some footage of that, but let's check and see what he had to say about that. If not, I'll read y'all what he said. Look, I be hyping myself up sometimes. You got to be your own hype person, okay? Not everybody gonna hype you up like you. But there's a lot of people that are step parents and they don't really know how to go about discussing this with their spouse, like, or the discipline, because sometimes kids act real crazy with the step parent. There he is, Russell Wilson and Sierra. She's so beautiful to me. I guess this is when he was going through his Thor man bun phase. It looks nice. I like it. He was discussing about the stress that Future causes Sierra and her son, and he said he just doesn't want to deal with it. Russell Wilson basically said he does not like seeing his son and his wife stressing about a minuscule amount of money. He said they are constantly arguing over this money and he can go months without paying. And he basically said, I can provide for my family without his little coins. He said what he said. And I don't see nothing wrong with it. I mean, I guess it changes the dynamic when you're married. Also, though, do you feel like he was out of place? I felt like he was right for saying what he said. At the end of the day, you right here with me, boo. I got you. I got us. I got the kids. You ain't got to worry about that food. He acting stupid. You want to argue over money? And sometimes they don't even be arguing over money, not them specifically. Sometimes the other person argues because they're hurt or upset that you moved on. This is my opinion, though. I got on my clothes. Do y'all feel like Russell Wilson was right for what he said? Because step parenting, like I said, sometimes you know where you stand with them, sometimes you don't. But I feel like for where him and Sierra are, she has allowed him to be able to play the man role in her life as effective as possible. And I feel like he's right for what he said, because at the end of the day, who wants to see their spouse stress over something that that other person already knows to do? And you already know. Future got his little toxic ways. He probably still jealous that she actually left and became happy. Because he got a few baby mamas that be over here begging for money, taking him in and out of court. And she's basically like, look, I've bossed up. I have my husband, and I'm not tripping off of you. And sometimes that really gets people upset, because it's like, you're no longer tripping off of this nonsense that I'm kicking. I've been doing this for years. What's different? And he's like, look, this is my kid. So do you think that if they say Future shouldn't pay, is this now baby Future's dad completely? Do you think that he should give up his rights? I don't know how I feel about that. I do think that he had every right to say what he said. He spoke for his family as best as he should. And also, step parents should be able to speak on the welfare of the child, especially when they care about this child, especially when they love this child. He's spending more time with this child than his own father. So I feel that he was right for saying what he said. Have you ever been with someone and they stepped up into that step parent role, but you didn't make it clear where they stand? That can be interesting. Okay. This salad got something going on. I think this tastes like a honey mustard. Let's see. It does taste like honey mustard. Would you be okay if your child was calling their step parent by their name instead of dad or mom? Is that okay? Is that too soon? Where do you get in a relationship where they're able to call that parent mom or dad? Or do they just call them, like, let's say their name is Joe. They call him Joe. Do you allow this person to have the conversations with your children in regards to discipline? Are they okay? Are you okay with them disciplining your kids? I mean, technically, if y'all together, they should be able to redirect them. But I guess it depends on the type of discipline that you have in your household. Because I don't think I'm going to let somebody whop mine. But they can definitely redirect them. But I don't know about the extra. Y'all tell me what y'all think. This Thai food is really good. Y'all tune into the Royal Tea. Don't forget it. We got a lot of tea to discuss. If you're ever wanting to dish about a topic, make sure that you message me. Queen Talks on Facebook. Queen Talks Comedy on Instagram. every platform you can reach me at. I want to make sure that we are dishing and diving in about the tea. Like, share, and subscribe if you are liking these topics. If you feel like I discussed something but you wanted me to go a little bit further or something that I should talk about a little bit more, let me know. Have you encountered a toxic family member? And if so, what did you do to be able to either get away from them? Are you still dealing with them? Is it proposing a challenge? Let me know. You tune into the Royal Tea. And it's hot. Like I said before, y'all, don't forget about our question of the day. Yes. Miss Sanders says, yes, let's cycle the money in our community. Hey, Shanice. I agree. I think that we should definitely cycle our money within the community. I feel like if for any reason you're not able to think of your own business, but let's say you have a homeboy and he is an amazing artist, support him. And I'm not saying that you have to just give your money away. No, don't misunderstand me now. Coins is important. But let's say you do donate to him. You could even ask for a receipt. It's nothing wrong with that. You can always use that on your taxes. Remember, I'm a tax preparer. Donations matter, okay? Let's say you are a person who takes pictures or a photographer rather. Look, I was ghetto with that, huh? Take pictures. Yeah, take little pictures. But let's say you're a photographer. You want to make sure that you have the newest camera, some of the best lighting. Don't take that $1,400 and just go buy some tennis shoes, okay? We got to get out of this habit of stunting for people who don't really matter or stunting for people who really don't care. Because at the end of the day, when you go to the club and they step on your shoe, you're going to be hot. But just remember, if you took that $1,400, I'm not saying don't spend it at all on the things that you want. But take that $1,400 and, like Shanice said, cycle it through the community in a proper way. Make sure that it's being spent on things that you can see and benefit from. Make sure you got life insurance. That's a topic we need to discuss. Because there's a lot of folks out here walking around just on a hope and a prayer. Cycle it correctly. Start off with writing down a list of where you want to see your stimulus money go and how you want it to grow. Because honestly, like I stated before, it is there to stimulate the economy. It's there to stimulate the community. And there are so many ways that we can do that. For instance, let's say you've always had a dream to do nails. Now is the best time for you to buy those products. Now is the best time for you to say, you know what? I'm going to actually buckle down and support my dreams. The first two stimulus, let's say you didn't get those right and you had to pay bills. A lot of us did have bills to pay. But don't go spend all your stimulus money on bills. Call up some of those people. Make some arrangements. And especially when it's your immediate bills. Yeah, I'm finna eat a little bit more of this salad. This is like a creamy, I don't know if it's honey mustard. It's really good. What's the next food I should eat on here next week? What's your favorite food? I really want to get into trying new foods because I get tired of the same old fried chicken, fried fish, baked chicken. I almost thought about eating a zebra one day because I was so sick of eating all the same meat. I'm like, look, it's only so many times I can eat a baked piece of chicken. Y'all see me eating a zebra, mind your business. I got my stimulus. Y'all, I hope y'all are enjoying yourselves. I want you to feel comfortable while you're here at the Royal Tea. I really want to discuss all of the different topics that you want to explore. Like I said, if you are dealing with a toxic family member and you don't know how to get out, hit me up in my DM. Let's talk about it. Maybe I can help you through that because I've dealt with toxic family members before. And it is one of the hardest things to say, I no longer want you around me on a consistent basis. Sometimes you go through guilt. Sometimes you go through fear. And sometimes you just feel like You're in the middle. You don't know how to feel about this person because they hold near and dear positions in your life. I've dealt with toxic family members who were so close to me in my mind and in my heart, but in actuality, they were hurting me more than they were helping me. Every time they came around, I felt low. When they would leave, I felt empty. And so sometimes you want to keep people around because you love them, but you have to be honest with yourself. Is what they're bringing to the table something that's healthy for you? I'm just putting it out there. So if you're dealing with a toxic family member, let me know. Let's see what we can do to discuss this together. Y'all didn't really care for this one. Nope. I didn't really care for this one at all. It looked like a Chipotle burrito. That's why y'all ain't see me eat it. But this fried buddy over here, it been getting towed up. You're tuned into the royalty, y'all. Where I eat, I laugh, we talk, we discuss, and we have so much more in store as the weeks go on. If you feel like you'd want to be a guest, please definitely come through. I do want to hit one last topic with y'all before I go. Last week, my question that I posed on Facebook was, what is everybody listening to? I got some really cool people that gave me feedback, and I really enjoyed it. Y'all see me looking down because I'm looking at my phone. I took a few notes. So the first one that I got for a suggestion was from Roots Lama. And the song was by, I hope I don't butcher her name, Bailey Key. I hope so. But if not, we'll definitely plug in that information and I'll let you know. And it was called Stimulus Check. Y'all heard some of it at the beginning of the podcast and on point. Very on point. And I was happy with some of the topics that she was hitting when it came to the stimulus. Like, you ain't going to be worried about the stimulus if you already are generating some income. Don't get me wrong, though. We all like a little extra money. But we want to get to a position where we're not always just waiting for the next big thing. We've already created things and generating income. So I like that song. So that's definitely one that I'm going to be jamming. My next song was from a lady named Maria Hernandez. She gave me a good suggestion. It was called, I know it's by a guy named Little TJ. I didn't know who Little TJ was, y'all. I ain't never heard of a Little TJ. Calling My Phone. That one was good. And it had a nice little catchy ring to it. Stop calling my phone and leave me alone. I almost wanted to make that into, I wish we still had ringback tones. Because the way Scam Likely called me, I be wanting to be like, stop calling my phone, leave me alone. And Scam Likely, they really hip to it now. They'll call you from a local number. So you don't even know who it is. The whole time you're like, do I answer? Do I not answer? And then I got another really good one from Clarissa Ricks. Really good comedian. Whoop, whoop. Go, Clarissa. It's called Blind Man. I didn't see who it was by, but when I heard it, it was so good. This has been one, along with the Stimulus Check, by Bailey Key. I've been bumping these two in the car for the last week. Super good songs. I like music that's up-tempo. I like music that speaks to you. If y'all ever have any song suggestion that you think that I should play on here, please let me know. I always want to learn new things, listen to new music. I'm one of those people, I love music, so make sure y'all hit my inbox, okay? And the last song was one that was really nice. It was called Breathe I'm sorry if I butchered the name, Sinabu Say. I believe that's the song. That's the artist. I don't know. I'm going to tag them. And it was from Sierra Ford. And it was very uplifting. It was very sweet. And I think the one thing that I really liked about it was the fact that it kind of had like a little calming. It calms you down. So I was like, okay, I like that. So those were the songs that I was suggested. If, like I said, if you have any suggestions on some songs that you want me to listen to, or if you're an artist and you want me to listen to your music and kind of give you some feedback, let me know. I love doing that. It doesn't really matter. I don't mind if it's cuss words, no cuss words. I don't mind if it's a gospel track. I'll listen to it and I'll give you my feedback on here. Y'all, you are tuned into the royalty. Let me eat a little bit of this. I don't know if I was supposed to put this on there or not, but we should see. I think it's soy sauce. But I don't know if soy sauce is supposed to go with crab leg or crab meat. Let's see. Okay. Okay. I can see it. The one thing I will say, the crab meat is good. I just don't think I like it in fried rice. It changes the texture. And everybody knows, people with texture problems, you gotta eat something that makes sense to your palate. Ooh, and it's spicy as heck. Tune into the royalty. I thank y'all so much for tuning in. Before we go, one more time, the question of the week that I will answer next Wednesday, because I'm here every Wednesday, start at 1 p.m. But hold on, don't hold me to that, because y'all know running late is my cardio. If you were to go MIA, where would you go? Who do you think would miss you? And how long would you go MIA? Is anyone else feeling like going MIA? You feeling like it? You want to go somewhere? You want to dip? Let me know. We'll answer these questions back next Wednesday. I thank y'all so much for tuning in. Once again, this food was from the Taste of Thai here in Plano. Take a little bit of it. Enjoy yourself. And I've enjoyed y'all so much. My name is Queen Talks, and you were tuned into the royalty. I'll see y'all next Wednesday. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll have more tea coming for you. Thank you.
And fuck the government, don't give a fuck about your business. And get up off your ass and get the hustling if you with it. And you can feed your family if you really fucking with it. Fuck $400, ain't enough to feed my family. That better up to pay if you fucking understand me. Got people out here worried and motherfucking stressing. They rather tell the lie than tell the motherfucking truth. Take the pig out the blanket, what you get them fucking naked. Always doing snake shit, what the fuck was you thinking? They ain't never had our back, what the fuck was you thinking? Confusion everywhere, we bout to face the fucking music. Can't tell me nothing else, cause they ain't motherfucking useless. Never trusting in they lies, never trusting in they truth. The government, you know, motherfucking.
At the Irie Place.